right, so a day a lot of you have been waiting for, a Bronco update. Unfortunately, it's not the Bronco update I wanted to bring, especially since it's been so long. But I figured at least show you guys, because so many people have been asking me in person, DMing me questions on YouTube, where is the Bronco? And well, it's here, pushing the corner once again because the race truck and everything else takes over. But I'll at least give you guys kind of an update of what's happening with it, why we kind of pushed it in the corner. We were really close to finishing it, and then catastrophe hit. Ba-boom. Or what are you
check out the little micro welds in the bumper.
Maybe for YouTube.
Oh my.
Yeah, for a YouTube video, we should go and rock crawl.
Dude,
we've been talking about
I've got 3 of them ready to go, man. I'll even let you do the prototype one.
Maybe in the next couple of weeks.
When this thing's gonna be like a shelf queen though, because it's gonna be so heavy and top heavy.
Hey, rock crawlers are heavy. Well, yeah, basically we got the motor in, got it all plumbed, all wired, everything. Started it. I wasn't there. They started it. Jimmy Weitzel was sitting there idling. Boom, dropped a valve, which Jimmy will explain right now.
We made a couple drag runs and over revved it and floated a valve. That's what we could say.
We were doing like 160 and
yeah.
No.
That's what we could say. It would be a better story. Spit a rod out of the oil pan.
Just one thing after another.
Catch on fire. So basically, the rocker arm geometry was a little bit off in this engine, and the roller on the end of the rocker arm shifted sideways, and basically the keepers that hold the valve at the retainer at the top of the spring, well, it pushed the keepers off and let the valve drop and hit the piston, thus bending the valve. So they call it it dropped a valve, so it bent a valve, so we got to pull it out, pull the engine out, and hopefully the piston's not damaged and we can just replace the valve. Hopefully the seat's still in good shape. But so that's the gist of the Bronco dilemma right now.
And that's why it's pushed in the corner. So now Jimmy's explained that, he's a little better. I'm just like, oh, it broke. No. But basically dropped a valve, not good. So now we're gonna have to pull the entire motor back out, pull the motor apart and do all that. So not just a quick fix. So since we don't have the time right now with the Baja 1000 coming up, and before it was the Baja 400, it got pushed in the corner. We're kind of in the center of the shop. But yeah, I mean, as you can see from the last update, it's made a lot of progress. The motor was in, air compressors mounted, CBR radiators, everything is, it's so close to being finished. The big things that need it, the AC needs to be done properly. It's got some parts, but it needs to get kind of final assembly and all that tuned out. We're not AC guys, so we don't understand that.
Wow, okay.
And then we have a brand new grill for it. It needs to get bolted in and all that, but we want to do that after, because to get the motor and all the parts in. But unfortunately now we're kind of down. But the drivetrain underneath is all, that thing, it's all ready. So if you haven't watched a prior build, you should. I'll link it right somewhere here to go watch. But basically with this Bronco, we bought it at a junkyard, stripped it down. The outside obviously looks really rough still. We just left it patinaed, but underneath, we literally pulled every single part off this thing, cleaned it, painted it, or replaced it. We put a lift kit on it. We put a locker in the front diff. Rebuilt the tranny. This thing's basically a brand new Bronco, but it just looks crappy on the outside. And then we put 650 horsepower in it. But unfortunately, 650 horsepower is blown up right now, technically. So, and then we put some sweet Toyo tires on it, Vision wheels. But yeah, from the outside, thing looks rough. just kind of barely holding together, especially now it's all dusty, it's been sitting here. But then if you dive inside, which is torn apart a little right now because we were trying to get the dash to interface with the motor and everything. But we'll hop in. Literally every single part in here is brand new. My dad got on Bronco Graveyard, which is an online website, and I think he just went down the catalog of a 1979 Bronco interior and bought every single part. Like, I'm talking down to like every little piece, and I mean, it was boxes of these just little pieces, and this we had a guy come in and just spend days assembling. So interior wise, this thing is literally brand new. Yeah, it's pretty sick. And then we kept it, we wanted to keep it classy, so kind of the simple original dash. AC is gonna run all off, the stock AC stuff. But then to tie into our kicker, we put a sweet kicker system in it. So we put a little kicker dash right here, this little panel. So this would run, Bluetooth, Sirius XM, all of that. And then we have ourselves a Switch Pro right here to run all the lights and stuff. I didn't want a ton, because we're adding lights and we're adding a ton of different stuff. We didn't want to have like switches and everything. So this Switch Pro, so simple. So we built this little center console, but I mean, as you can see, tracked down so when we first bought the Bronco, it had 2 bucket seats, but my dad wanted a bench seat because it was an option. And for us, what we're going to be using it for, piling people in to go to dinner in the mountains, bench seat's ideal, and it just looks sick, especially this original kind of design. Took us a long time to find this, but we did find it. So yeah, no, just kind of, yeah, I mean, if you haven't watched the videos before, we kind of went into more detail on all the interior stuff, but right now everything inside is ready besides tying in the last couple things to the AC and the tack. And then now we just got to pull the motor out, rebuild it, put it back in, and pray that was the only thing wrong with it. We bought the motor from a friend who had built the motor, but they had never driven it or never started it. And unfortunately, as Jimmy said, they ordered the wrong part basically, which caused it to drop a valve, and it kind of sucks because you buy a brand new motor and you think it's going to be all rad, 650 horsepower, just crazy, and then that happened. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I know it's not the update you all wanted, but unfortunately race trucks are more important right now. So she's just pushed in the corner, and after the Baja 1000 we'll give you a build update. Maybe I'll get in here and pull the motor out and see what we can do, but that's it. If you want to follow along this Bronco build, be sure to subscribe, drop a comment below what you think. For those who've been following this thing for a while, sorry. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Next couple weeks, we have some really cool content happening. This weekend, I'm going to a pretty insane event with 2 of my favorite things. One that flies and one that goes across the desert really fast. So yeah, tune in because it's going to be some sick content that kind of different than what I'm used to. That's it.